intimidating room, dark room. I'm Sam, I work in UK government, I work for the Ministry for Housing, Communities and Local Government. We're going to talk to you a little bit about One Team Gov, which is a community that's been set up with inside UK government. We're not going to talk about any of the politics stuff. Don't ask us, we can't. So this is One Team Gov, this is our logo. One Team Gov was basically set up 2 years ago by two civil servants, and they noticed that digital and policy within government weren't working very well together, and that there was a lot that they could learn from each other. And basically they came together, put on an unconference similar to what we're doing today, and created a set of principles for what a movement within government might look like to try and break some of those silos that we see. So we see them across digital and policy, but we also see them within government departments. People just don't work together, they replicate the same work, there's lots of stuff going on. So they put together these principles, they're all really common sense, they're all really straightforward, but what they did was they galvanised people around the idea that working could be in a different way. And we started in the UK, but we now have One Team Gov factions sort of all over the place really. We've got Scotland, Wales, and then a few different groups in the UK, but we've also got Sweden, Finland, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. It's growing. It's really good because it shows that there's a sort of engaged sector of public servants who can see that there's a different way of doing things. And this is James.
Hello, I'm James Arthur-Cattell. After working in investment banking for about 15 years for like Deutsche Bank and Lehman Brothers, I decided to come into the public sector and cleanse my soul.
That's in the wrong order.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so don't worry. What was I going to talk about? Right, so I joined in 2008, I found Twitter in about 2010, and very shortly afterwards I found this community called the United Kingdom Government Camp. Camp as in campus, as in coming together and learning from each other. And it was incredible, and I found all these people that cared about digital and data and technology, and we shared and we learned. And I met my wife there, and it was an incredible community. And then a bunch of us came and saw One Team Gov starting and happening, and we did the first conference 2 years ago. But then the thing that I did, the real difference I made, was to start doing weekly breakfasts, 8:30 every Wednesday in the Treasury, 8:30 every Wednesday for 2 years. And this glue kept the movement going as we were trying to figure out who we were and what we were doing. And it spawned, and it was fantastic. It made the community go. The problem that we have, and I wish I had the picture up, is... don't worry, it's okay, I'll talk through it. Wait, actually, put that one up.
Yeah.
So, that guy that's being hugged is the former head of the civil service, the most senior civil servant. He unfortunately passed away due to cancer recently, very sadly. But he is what the top of the civil service look like. They're all privileged white people, mostly all men, with a handful of women. And this is the problem that we have, both in the civil service and in One Team Gov. In the core organisers, we have one guy, Pratik, who calls himself the token brown person, which is so sad to hear this. So a lot of the work we're going to be doing over the next year or two is trying to engage with African countries and Asian countries and try and make ourselves more diverse, because the more diverse our community, the better it is. That's what I had to say.
Imran. Yeah.
So hi, I'm Imran. I'm part of One Team Gov as well. I work for the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. My journey with One Team Gov has been slightly different because I'm pretty new to the kind of movement. I haven't been with the civil service in the UK for very long at all. I've been there for about a year and a half, and I started on an accelerated talent programme. So they changed my role every 6 months. It just meant I couldn't make connections, I couldn't really get to know anyone. There's no kind of consistency for me. And when I found out that One Team Gov was spreading, so I went to one of James's breakfasts and I was like, oh great, I wish I had this in the city where I was. It sprang up. So this is Leeds in the north of England, and we usually have about 15 or 20 people at breakfast. We run ours every 2 weeks, and there's people from over 20 different organisations that tend to come. And this is my network now. So it's allowed me to build relationships, get to know people. I don't have a mentor. These guys are my mentors. So when I need some advice, I get to ask all of them, and that's absolutely fantastic. And I really feel now like I found my tribe. I found like-minded people that don't just want to go in and pick up their paycheck. They want to go and make a difference in the kind of the government. And as a collective, we're starting to make that change. So after the breakfast, we're starting to kind of build on it. We formed a bit of a core team. They're starting to do something in Manchester, which is another city in the north of England as well. And with Leeds so far, we did a user research and conference because there was a real need for the local councils. They wanted to figure out how government in different departments were doing user research. And we're going to do something for software engineers with different government departments now. So it's really exciting. We're starting to build. We're working on local issues. It's not just London, not, you know, we're spreading all over the world. And for me, it's like the start of my One Team Gov journey. So I'm really excited about where it's going to take me in the future. It's helping inspire me, build my confidence, and really take me out of my shell. So yeah, I hope you take something from that, and why not start something up in Denmark as well.
So this is me, I'm Sam. I'm going to talk a little bit about the logo really quickly because I think what Imran's describing is One Team Gov as a movement has become something much bigger than what it started with. So we started with the intention of breaking the silo between policy and digital, and now it's almost become a way and a method for people to put on all sorts of different events. So I talk about One Team Gov as being a box, that you can put anything that you want within inside the box because we've got a way of working, we know how to run our conferences, we do everything in the open, so we share everything that we learn openly, even our feedback, whether it's good or bad, so people can build on and learn from what we're doing. And that means that we've done loads of different types of events, so I just want to show you. So my role has been, I've moved into the sort of comms part of what we do, which means that for our global event that we did last year, I was part of this awesome group of people and we were just sharing everything that we were doing throughout the day on social media. And also running small sessions like this, which was about sketchnoting. So like Imran said, he's at the beginning of his journey, but for me, I've been on the same sort of journey. I've been pushed into things that I never thought I would do. I'm shit at drawing. So yeah, sketchnoting is not a natural fit. This is our Medium publication, so we've got loads of these articles. This is where we put it all. Anybody can write for us if they are holding a One Team Gov event or if they're doing something. It comes via the publication, and then my role is to proofread, add pictures, edit things, make sure it's all just as useful as it possibly can be, and then it all goes up on here. We've got loads of information. And this is what I was saying about One Team Gov almost being a box. We've done events this year around hacking bureaucracy. We've done events around well-being. We're doing events around leadership. And next year we're planning an event on sustainability and green issues. So we're kind of using the structures that we've put in place to run lots of different types of events that galvanise people in different ways. And that's it. That's all from us. Thank you.